Hey everybody, it's Dr. H here, and she has not had any coffee yet this morning. But happy Friday. On the first section of our work for today, we are going to be working on estimating with fractions. And because I was in Miss Wheeler's class, I picture Miss Wheeler at the board, so you can picture Miss Carberto at the board if you're in her class. And when I look at a problem such as Lynn spent 5/6 of an hour on math homework and 1 3/4 of an hour on science homework, how many hours did she spend on homework for both subjects? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is draw my box that represents a whole hour. And I am dividing this box into 6 because I'm working with 5/6. 6 is my denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How long did she work on it? For 5 of the 6 hours. Then I need to decide, is that closer to 0, closer to half, which is right here, or closer to 1? So you're going to decide, is the answer for this first section closer to 0 hours, a half an hour, or a whole hour? Okay, now keep that number set in your head, write it down. Don't keep it in your head, write it down. And let's look at the second set of problems. The second set, 1 3/4 hours on science homework. So I'm going to go ahead because otherwise I would forget. I'm going to draw my whole for my whole hour and then my 3/4 of an hour as well. And because we're working in components of 4, sections of 4, because it's 3/4, I'm going to go ahead and draw them on both sides, on the hour and the partial hour. So I know that Lynn worked 1 hour and then 3/4 of an hour. Now, obviously, this is 1, but what is this one? It's question mark. Well, is that closer to 0, 1/2, or 1? And you might say, as I did, well, it's right in between the half and the 1. Which way do I go? Do I round up or do I round down? Well, remember that 2 is 1 through 4. When you have 1 through 4, you're rounding down. So you're going to round that way. Got it? So now you have your estimate for this first problem. And you've got this estimate for the second problem. Don't forget the 1 part. And then you need to come up with the total estimate. So this is 1. The answer isn't 1 necessarily. It's this problem number 1, this problem number 2, and then the answer, right? 5/6 estimate plus 1 3/4 estimate equals number 3. Right? Try the next one on your own, and let's look down at some of the word problems. All right. Roger has 4 gallons of orange juice. He puts the same amount of juice into 5 pitchers. How many gallons of juice are in 1 pitcher? So if I've got 4 gallons of orange juice and I've got 5 pitchers, then I can tell that each pitcher is going to get 4/5 of a gallon. I will give you that one. So let's look at number 8, a little more complicated. Marta Marta has 8 cubic feet of potting soil, and she has 3 flower pots. So, how much soil is going to go in each pot if it's even? Well, you saw me solve this one over here. So I could just do the same thing and say 8 over 3. That is not my simplest number. To get my simplest number, I would say, or my reduced number, the number in simplest form, I would say, well, how many times does 3 go into 8? 3 goes into 8 2 times, right? Because 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 9's too big. When I subtract this 8 minus the 6, because 2 times 3 is 6, I get 2 left over. 2/3. So my answer here is 2 2/3. Each one of these problems is the same. So if you can put the whole on the bottom, the part on the top, and then make it a simplified fraction, you will be fine. Let me go ahead and read these other problems to you. Greg made 27 ounces of potato salad. Oh, and I should put, cubic feet. All the teachers would yell at me for not doing that. Greg made 27 ounces of potato salad to serve 10 guests. If each serving is the same size, how much potato salad will each guest receive? I'm blaming it on the lack of coffee. So remember, your whole goes here and your part goes here, even if your part is bigger than your whole. So you decide in this question, what's the whole and what's the part? Chandra spent 15 minutes doing 4 math problems. She spends the same amount of time on each problem. How many times did she spend on each problem? What's your part and what's your whole? Taylor has 5 yards of gold ribbon to decorate 8 costumes for the school play. She plans to use the same amount of ribbon for each costume. How many yards of ribbon will she use? So what's the whole and what's the part? Finally, Deshawn is using 7 yards of wiring fencing to make the play area for his puppy. He wants to cut the fencing into 6 pieces of equal length. How long will each piece be? So remember, I've shown you before, he's got 7 yards of fencing, but he's cutting it into 6 equal pieces, 6 holes. So how long will each piece be? And remember, we're working with yards. All right. If you don't remember by the time you get to number 11 how to solve them, rewind the video and look how I solved number 1 and 2, 7 and 8 for you. Have a great day, and I'll see you online between 9 and